Hello everyone. In my previous video I discussed all of the basic use cases of Revolve tool and understanding how you use it to measure and creating precise objects and so on. In this video I'd like to explore a little bit more advanced use cases and some of the added features I briefly referenced in the first video. So to get started, I'll start again with a 3D sketch. And in this case I've added, I have to remove my planes. I've tested something before with having other planes, so let's remove this. Okay, I'm gonna go again to my precision settings, making sure I check the grid vertices, and now we're ready to start. I'll focus on the top side and I'll start with a line drawing. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna start drawing a line, just walking along my grid, something like this, very basic, kind of like a staircase effect. So that's basically it for now. Now I'm gonna walk it out. This is what I want actually the effect to be. Now I'm gonna walk it out just to complete that. And I want to move her out a little bit more, because if I'm gonna move this down, it will snap to this. This will work at first, but then the latest, one of the features I would want to show will actually not work as expected. So I need to move her out a little bit more, create some thickness over here. And now that's basically it. Now we'll get started. I'll scale it the way I did before, resize it. I'll resize it both sides to 100. And let's make it over here also 100. And I'm going to rotate by -90. So far the same thing we did before. And I'm going to center it on my scene. Centered. Okay. So now we can go back to regular view. And this is basically a staircase effect that we have. So now we're going to go to the Revolve tool. So the basic is what you see before, kind of what you expect. If you unhide this, you see the flow of this staircase effect that this creates, and this is what we have seen before. But now I'm going to show that I can actually reduce this and open it up, and I can decide how much I want this to be. And the minute I open it up, if this doesn't close, I actually have an option to fill the start and end, both or none. And this actually, if you don't fill it, this will not be manifold. You kind of can use the add thickness to add some thickness to it to make it manifold, but as it is, this is not manifold, but this is an option. So for now, this is quite nice to create an object like this, and you can still play around with the segments and make it look different shapes based on, different type of segments. But what if I want to inverse this? I want this roundness to go the outside, the other side around. So in the previous video, I briefly mentioned to use this kind of to close the gap, something like this. And the reason it turns black because I'm inverting the normals, so it doesn't look good, but once you finalize this will be good. I have to double check, test actually. I'm almost certain the normals will be adjusted automatically. In case it's not, you'll have to use the flip option to flip the normals. So this would kind of still what I showed before, that you can actually close it without any holes and make it something like this. But I want to show you how to actually rotate that. So what's going to happen is, if I go all the way around something like this, now let's see, once I finalize, the same idea, the normals are flipped, but as I finalize, you get this view. Now you can see I actually inverted the rotation. This actually, and I got it to look something like this. So this is one thing that you can see here, that you can actually invert the rotation kind of from clockwise to counterclockwise, and also you can make it half and fill it or not fill it, and this kind of would be your staircase effect. Now let's go to the other things that I discussed, the more advanced settings around an edge. So I'll use the same profile, not going to change profile, but now I'm going to change it. Let's fill it up, close it all the way, and I'll make it rounded, something like this. And now I'm going to go revolve around an edge. I'll choose this part. So if I choose the longest edges, like these edges, you're still going to get the same effect that we had before, similar effect, that you have these staircase effect, kind of like what you have, but it had an angle, because the way I rotated around there, it gave me an angle. If I rotate around here, for example, this will give me something like this. And if I rotate around here, this is something like this. But where it becomes even more interesting is if I rotate around something that's doesn't have enough space, kind of on the narrow side, not on the wider side, but on the narrow side. And now you can see what this is doing, because if you give it this is a long thing, if you give it to rotate around this side, it will kind of fill in this other way and create this type of shape, which is quite interesting. And the same idea, you can make it look just half a view and so on. But this kind of gives you the flexibility to create a lot of other interesting shapes. And you can rotate around here. Look what you get now. Let's close it. So you can see kind of like a, whatever this is called to finalize it's some kind of a cup and so on. So this is very interesting. It takes a lot, and to be honest, I don't know it yet fully how to explain it, how you can visualize it. On the basics, I'm able to visualize, and that's what I explained in the first video. Over here, for me, it's trial and error. I don't really fully visualize it, how it takes every axis, so this takes more expertise than what I know. But that's basically, if you understand how it is, please leave me a message in the comments. I would love to see that. I know how it works, but kind of how you can visualize on the shape, explain what you would expect, not just randomly clicking and seeing what it is. I'd like to know how I can actually draw something with intent to get something using this approach on custom axes. But nevertheless, I hope you test and enjoy it, and let me know in the comments what you come up with. Thank you. And if you like, please like and subscribe, and let me know what else you want me to explain. Thank you for watching.